All right, y'all, it's time to finish these bell bottoms. So I had somebody on the last video say they were confused, and I'm not sure where I lost them, but so basically I have my pants. I'm going to put the other leg in, and I'm going to try to explain it a little better. So I have my pants turned inside out, and I have my piece cut to fit my triangle in. So I'm going to go right sides together, and I'm going to start at the bottom of the front part of the leg. I like to do the front first. I don't know if it really makes a difference in the end. And I start so that these are pretty close to even. I go just a little beyond here, but really not much. So I start pretty close to even. I'm just going to clip these. I'm going to rip them a little farther because I didn't rip them far enough. And now I'm going to sew straight down that line there. Okay, so there's that seam, and I did sew it twice again. And it does go right up into where the other seam was when I ripped it, so that will blend. Then I am going to trim these strings here real quick. I'm going to again start at the bottom with just a little bit off the edge there. And I'm going to clip most of this, but I am going to pin a little bit, and I'll show you where I'm going to pin. So this, I'm hoping you can see, it's a little funny right there, but I'll just trim that off when I'm done. If I was using the serger, I wouldn't even have to trim anything. So this needs to match up to here. And it actually needs, I need for this to match up here. Like that. And then I need this to go over. So I'm hoping you can see that. And what I need is for these to match up pretty close. So that's going to be a little over there, but it's hopefully going to even out at the end, because I want to make sure that I catch this piece here. There we go. So I pulled it a little over. This isn't quite exactly lined up because I need to have the extra caught in there. And I'm going to actually, when I did the last one, I used the clips, and then I switched it to pins after. So I'm going to use the clips now. And I'm just going to kind of pull that aside a little bit. And when I get down past here, it won't be caught in there anymore. Make sure I don't catch any of this side in there. So when I sew this one, I'm going to start at the top here, and I'm going to stitch over. I'm going to stitch over the previous stitching line until I get to where I had trimmed it. Until I get to where I had trimmed it. So I'm going to stitch. I'll be stitching from this side, but it's about a ½ inch. I'm going to try. And honestly, I can see the stitch line on this side. So I'm going to stitch down that, and then I'm going to come straight off of that and stitch the rest of the way down. So this is going to be double stitched right here a little bit. But that's to make sure that I ended up with that inside where I needed it to be. So I'm going to go do that, and I'll be back. Okay, so this is the one I just did. You can see where it went there, and I'm going to turn them right side out completely. Here we go. Again, a slight pucker here, and I think next time I would have to just stitch that down a little better. I think that's where that pucker's coming in. It is not going to show, though. I don't think anybody's going to get down on their hands and knees to examine my work when I'm wearing these. Yeah, I'm very, very pleased with these. I do need to add a little length to them, and I knew that when I started. So there's both legs. Stinking cute. So I do need to add a little bit of length. I'm going to measure the inseam of these and the inseam of my favorite pants that I wear all the time and see how much I need to add on. And then I'm going to go find another pair of jeans that I can cut up to add to the bottom. I'll be right back. Okay, I've got these folded like that. I'm not sure where my tape measure is. Story of my life. I'm just going to take this other pair that I like to wear all the time. I line that up, how much length I need. So I need about 1.5 inches. So I'm going to lose a 1/2 inch here in this seam. So if I take 2 inches, especially if I can use a hem on another pair, I need 2 inches or 2, I would say 3 if I want to hem them. So let me go look and see what I can find, and I'll be back. Okay, so I have this pair that are already ripped open that I was going to make bells out of, but they have a pretty wide bell on them already. They're a little bit of a wide leg. They're a little darker than the other ones, but I'm thinking that is exactly what I need. So I'm just going to cut, let's see, I'm going to hem these back up like that. So I'm going to cut 1.5 inches up from this line here. I'm going to cut it here. I've already got one seam ripped open. So I may rip this open a little bit just to make hemming them in there easier. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to rip this. I don't really have to go very far. And then I'm going to fit these into that. Okay, so I need 1.5 inches. I need 2 inches. With the seam allowance. I'll make sure that goes in the center here. And I'm going to sew that to there. And I'm going to go around the other way. I don't have any pins with me, so you'll get the idea. Oh, that's going to be a little bit short. My measure was deceptive. I'm going to cut just a little bit more and piece them together. I'm going to take this hem out because I really don't want to sew over this seam, because I really don't want to sew over it when I put the hem back in. That was a little worrisome to me anyway. So I'm going to do that on both of them. I'm going to sew this piece in the middle. Of each one of these. Okay, woo! We are done. We're all finished. Look at that. I think that's going to look so good. I'm going to go put these on, see if I can drag Salty out in the yard to get some video and some pictures. Oh my goodness, I'm so thrilled with how these turned out. I don't think that darkness on there is going to make one lick of difference. I have pressed these a little bit, and I think once I wash them, this was where I had to ease that one in a little bit, but I think when they're on, it's not really going to show at all. So I'm going to go put them on. I'm going to see if I can get Salty out in the yard with me. Okay, so here they are, all finished. I came up a little higher than I thought I was going to at first. I was just going to come to my knee, but I am in love. The hem came out just perfect. I think it probably just touches the ground, which is great. I got my Chucks on. Sometimes I wear sneakers that are a little higher, but I am just totally thrilled with these. If you are going to QuiltCon in February, look for these because I will definitely be wearing these at QuiltCon. We're going to zoom in, get a couple pictures for you, so stay tuned for those. And there was a lot of outtakes with these videos, so maybe that'll be a whole nother reel for you. Thanks so much for joining me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave me a comment, give me a hype, and we'll see you on the next one.